Because the objects in the Mars exploration rover photos cannot be accurately measured, a scientific recreation is not possible. However, I have created this 3D simulation not to recreate the object, but to illustrate it. Many things went wrong. The resemblance between the box I used and the box shown in the rover photo is striking. The materials used in this illustration are made from cardboard with the exception of a common shovel, which I used to illustrate one of the objects in the photo. The box had its flaps removed and was painted inside out with wax spray paint. I encourage viewers to freely copy and redistribute this video or use it on websites, TV, and such. This is the original photo from Spirit Sol 676. The box-like object is perched up against a boulder, left of center, about left quarter of the photo, and just below the center line. There are other interesting objects here. There's a small triangular one in the foreground, for instance, and a larger darker object to the right in the distance. We'll get to that. This is my example. Here we have an ordinary cardboard box. I removed the flaps. I spray painted it inside out with black spray paint. Notice how it's leaning up against a boulder. It's just a small boulder. I didn't lean mine as much as an example in the rover photos, but we can still tell that it's a box. As we will see, they are quite similar in their basic shape. Now for the side-by-side comparison. My example doesn't lean as much, and the proportions are a little bit different. I was surprised by that. But there's still two boxes. Theirs leans up against a large boulder, and there is something that looks similar to a shovel. It has this V-shaped fuzzy thing over it. You can see the blade sticking out underneath. Later I'm going to show that. I'm going to illustrate that with some cardboard and an ordinary shovel that I brought from home. This is really striking. I mean, there's nothing to argue about. Both are boxes. Both are artificial boxes. This is case closed. I don't need anything more than this. There's my setup. Doesn't look exactly like theirs, obviously. And the Mars photos have a bunch of vegetation, trees. That's Hemlock Lake we see in the background. And that's about it. I used a V-shaped piece of cardboard. I used a shovel from home. I put a piece of cardboard on the end of the shovel. In this clip, I'm going to walk up and explain what we have here. I'm going to point things out. That's a V-shaped thing. There's the shovel. I just pointed to it. My example is a little wider than the one in the photo. I can't help but wonder if the one in the photo might be some kind of pipe. I'm showing the shaft of the handle of the shovel. And I'm pointing out the thing that goes across the box in the rover photo. I've illustrated that. My example is much wider out of necessity. And finally, the stick that's holding up the shovel is just a little Y-shaped stick that I took out of the woods. No biggie, no biggie. Okay, once again, my camera's perched on the hood of my car. I'm going to go over and point out some more things. The boulder in the Mars photo is taller. The distance between the Y-shaped, V-shaped thing and the box is actually shorter, but I wasn't going to cut the handle on my shovel just to illustrate it correctly. And I'm showing the inside of the box. that I have. That's about it. That's the end of my simulation. And we're going to discuss a little bit more about what we had there. I'm going to bring back the photo that compares. Why is it that NASA does not own up to this? Take a look at the boxes again. There simply is no question. The one on the left is an artificial box. The one on the right is an artificial box. I don't know what else to say. Now, there are other objects in the same photo which are very interesting, and I'm probably going to do a sequel to this video. There's one that if I can bring it out, will knock the socks off even the most hardest skeptic. It's a tough old bear to enhance. I've tried enhancing it, but basically it's a rectangular object with a minimum of 4 rectangular holes, regularly spaced holes. It's time we had answers. Come on, NASA, go on TV and tell the public the truth. National TV, explain to the public what you found. And it's not a bunch of rocks and dust like you've claimed. There are real artifacts and possibly even Martians. Thank you for your attention.